the open plains of the asphalt jungle. Home to many creatures great and small, and the pupping ground for one of the most clever and illustrious creatures, the plastic bag. Today we explore the cycle of life for this curious creature, the plastic bag, on its migration to its home, the Pacific Ocean. Once released into the wild, the plastic bag is unsure of itself. It falters at first, but soon, with some help from the wind, the bag will be airborne. This flight will be the first in its long journey towards its final destination, the garbage patch in the heart of the Pacific Ocean. Using the wind to guide it, the plastic bag moves across the city through the air. A city park. This park may at first seem an idyllic place for the plastic bag, but danger lurks round every corner. Here it will encounter many enemies, including one of the most dangerous, park services. Poor little fellow. Looks like his journey ends here. Meanwhile, our little bag has encountered one of nature's most deadly killers, the teacup Yorkie. Once the Yorkie has locked onto its victim, there's very little hope of survival. But using its superior size and deft maneuvering, our bag manages to escape the Yorkie's talons and flee for its life. Over the course of its miraculous migration, the plastic bag will cover vast distances through neighborhoods, across parks, and down city streets. It is now nightfall, and our highly advanced night vision cameras have managed to capture for the first time in history a plastic bag in pitch black. Phenomenal. The vast cement rivers of California, home to literally dozens of animals. Many plastic bags will not make it out of here. The reeds and branches will see to that. As at home in water as it is on land or in the air, the bag's natural buoyancy makes it an excellent swimmer. It's close now, and it can feel it. At last, the bag has reached the gateway to the open sea. Careful to avoid the mouths of hungry sea life that feed on the helpless plastic, the bag will travel hundreds of miles to join the thriving community of plastic known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. The garbage patch is a veritable plastic oasis where millions of tons of plastic garbage remain trapped by the currents. It is said to be twice the size of Texas. Never actually biodegrading, here the plastic bag can live indefinitely, peacefully coexisting with billions of other petroleum species before breaking into ever tinier plastic pieces, thus completing the plastic cycle of life.
Every day, our world is exposed to countless pollutants that are gradually deteriorating our environment. Many of these pollutants are single-use disposable plastics. Every hour, millions of people around the world use plastics which are inevitably disposed of. Plastic take hundreds of years to break down. These plastics will end up accumulating in the environment and result in irreversible damage to our planet. EPI is the pioneer of oxo-biodegradable plastic technology. We've developed TDPA additives which allow plastics to return back to nature without leaving any toxic residues behind. Let's see the process of how TDPA additives work. Plastics are composed of long molecules of carbon and hydrogen atoms. When EPI's TDPA additive is added into the plastics, it will break down these long molecules in the presence of oxygen, UV light, heat, and mechanical stress. These oxidized plastics will degrade, break down, and fragment into smaller pieces during the process. At a certain point, these fragmented molecules will start to biodegrade in the presence of microorganisms. They will be consumed by the microorganisms and turned into carbon dioxide, water, and biomass, and eventually be used up in photosynthesis. This process, where plastics return back to nature, can take up to 36 months to complete. Now you know you can become a part of this to save our planet. Ask for your bags to be made with EPI's TDPA additives. When you choose EPI, you show your care for the environment and our planet.
Here, we see some printed plastic packaging film. When it was being made, a small amount of Symphony's D2W additive was put into the ordinary polymer at the factory. It has become an intelligent plastic. We call it controlled life plastic because it will automatically self-destruct at a predetermined time. The same machines were used in the factory as for normal plastic, and there was little or no extra cost. The normal properties of the polymer are maintained, so flexibility, strength, sealability, printability, and processing speeds and temperatures are still all unaffected. The plastic looks and behaves exactly the same as normal plastic, until the end of the useful life of the product, which was decided at the time of manufacture. The plastic material which you see here was designed to start degrading after 18 months. But by adjusting the formulation of the D2W, we can program longer or shorter periods of fitness for purpose into the plastic product. Symphony's D2W contains a catalyst that will break the long entangled molecular chains within the polymer, which give the plastic product its strength and durability. D2W does not contain heavy metals. At the end of the useful life of the product, the D2W automatically breaks down the molecular structure of the polymer and forms harmless intermediates that are biodegradable. The process continues on land or water as long as oxygen is present, and will be accelerated by ultraviolet light and heat in the open environment. It does not need to be composted. The plastic can be recycled if collected before the end of its useful life. At or about the predetermined time, the molecular weight of the polymer starts to descend quickly from around 200,000 to 100,000 Daltons, and the material starts to fall apart. The relentless descent continues past 40,000 units, and from there the material is no longer plastic. Microorganisms which are normally found in the environment can then access the fragments, and they are bioassimilated in the same way as natural waste such as leaves and straw. Here, seen through an electron microscope, are microorganisms colonizing the lower molecular mass residues. Finally, they convert the original components of the plastic to carbon dioxide, water, and biomass, leaving no harmful residues. Symphony's D2W has been tested for ecotoxicity and is certified safe for food packaging.